Hello there and welcome to another Practical Wisdom, another episode of Practical Wisdom, and it's your host Ihab Hamarmi. Today I want to share with you a subject that I personally believe that it has the ability to completely transform the course of your life. See, the subject of self-image that we're going to talk about today, if you really get it, if you understand it, I would encourage you even more to study it more after the video. If you get it, you will transform your life, you will transform your results, you will transform every single thing about your reality, because this concept is so powerful and it holds that premises. So I'm not just throwing here some kind of information that's like meaningless. I'm giving you something really powerful, and I believe actually self-image is one of those concepts that should be taught at school, because I said before, it has the potential to transform the reality of any person. Now, before diving deep into that subject and how it really dictates your results, let me just take you through a historical journey of where that concept came through. See, the first time the world were introduced to that concept, self-image, it was, I believe, in 1960 by a doctor called Maxwell Maltz in his hit book Psycho-Cybernetics. It's like the godfather of self-growth, this self-growth books. And his book, or his concept self-image, it was considered then as the greatest discovery in the history of psychology. See how powerful that concept is? And I believe that's true. So, how Maxwell Maltz came to discover the idea of self-image? Well, it started actually, it's funny like how he discovered that, because it wasn't in a way intentional, and it came through the ability to perceiving something. So Maxwell Maltz, he was a surgeon, he was a plastic surgeon. And I think for 20 years he was doing surgeries. And he started to realize something interesting. He started to realize that some people would come to him and they have like a certain scar, right? So after going through a couple of surgeries, or I don't know the numbers, he will change the way they look physically. Now, the interesting thing, that some people would come with a scar, and after the transformation in their physical look, they don't go back and they just feel beautiful. Now, some people with the same scar, after coming to him and doing the same surgery, getting almost the same results, they would still feel ugly. And they come again and again and again, and they go like into a non-ending loop of plastic surgery. Now, what he realized that changing the physical look, any change that happens in the physical look, sometimes cause a change in the psyche of the person, or what he called the self-image. And that's where he started studying that concept, and I think he spent the rest of his life studying and sharing that concept. Now, how that would relate to your life? Now, that's the thing that's really empowering to understand. Everyone, no matter who they really are, has a self-image. It's kind of a framework in your subconscious and how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself. And your thoughts, your behavior is always working in match to that self-image, because we have deep inside an emotional drive called the drive for congruence, meaning your behaviors will always follow your thoughts, and your dominant thoughts are coming from that self-image. Actually, psychologists told us that 95 to 97% of human thoughts are quite repetitive. And I personally believe that most of those, like 95 to 97% of thoughts, are coming from self-image. So in a way, the self-image is the root cause for your thoughts, for your behaviors, and thus for your results. So instead of changing the results on a superficial level by changing your action, go to the root cause. That will make your life way much more easier. That will help you to create sustainable living without going through the kind of ups and downs and change. So you change something for 5 days and then you go back to your old habits. And an easy way to think of self-image, I always tell people when I work with people, I always tell them, think of self-image, the word that would come after the I am. Now what that means, it means if you say I am blank, this is part of your self-image. So you could say, I am poor, I am good, I am confident, I'm not good with girls, I'm not good in relationships, I'm not a good writer, I'm not a good speaker, and so on and so forth, right? Now, you might not admit it, but deep inside you hold that belief about yourself, and naturally, as we said, your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions, your results will reflect that reality. So it's smart and intelligent way if you want to change something to go back into the root cause and change it. An easy way or an easy example that just come to my mind in order just to explain the idea of self-image better, so you just can relate to it in a better way. Look to schools. Just look to students. I bet you if you go to any school and you ask any teacher to predict the marks of the students from now to the next 5 years, they can do it with a high accuracy, probably like 95% of accuracy. Now, how that's possible? Like, I remember in my school, probably like Raed, the guy that he's in the top of the school, he was in the top, he was the first in school from the age probably 5 till 18. Now, yes, he's intellectually smart, but I don't think that's the main case. The main case is his self-image. He holds an image in his mind that he's an A student. And you might be arguing, but he's studying hard. That's true. But again, studying hard is a result for having a self-image as an A student. Now, in school, back to that example, in school, the teachers, they can predict the marks of everyone. So as we said, if someone holds an image of an A student, they will behave like that. They will study like that. They will think like an A student. On the other hand, if someone has an image of a D student, what will happen? They will study as a D student and they will get results as a D students. And those results will reflect that reality. So they will empower the self-image more and more and more. Sort of like a feedback loop. Now, if let's assume that a guy who's D student go back to his home and his parents saw his marks and they start berating him, why are you getting that? And they start shouting and yelling. And he just made the decision, you know what? I want to change. I don't want to be D student again. I want to be an A student. And so what he will do usually, he will start studying, just killing him with studying hard. Now that will work for a while and he might start getting a better results. But the moment he will start getting results higher than his self-image will kick in and it will bring him back to the old self-image, which is a D student. Now, how will that happen? It will happen through procrastination, it will happen through distraction, it will happen through studying everything that's not related to the exam. The reason behind that, because self-image does not differentiate if the belief in it is good or the image about yourself is good or bad. It just cares about survival. If you have a belief about yourself that you're the student, that self-image only cares about survival. And it works more like a thermostat. See, back in Jordan, we have a thermostat for the heater. And when you put it in a 25, if the heat reaches 30, that thermostat will kick in and will turn off the heater till it will bring the heat back to 25. And if it reaches 20, again, that thermostat will kick in to bring the heat back to 25. Exactly the same in your self-image. It works like a homeostasis. It works like a thermostat to maintain your results in a certain way, the certain way you have in your mind. And that's something I can assure you that all the great leaders in history, they agreed on. All great leaders, they agreed that you become who you think you are. So if you think yourself as a leader, as a business owner, you become that because it's part of your image. You're naturally going to behave in a certain way. I remember, probably, when was that? Probably like a year ago, I met my sister's husband in Jordan, and he's a business owner in Qatar. He has a company, I think, for telecommunication. And I just wanted to check if he had the self-image of a business owner before. And I asked him, Nassim, when you were young, did you have an image that you're gonna be a business owner? And he told me, always. I always thought that I'm gonna be a business owner. I always thought I'm gonna have my business. And he said, even when I was in school, when I used to he had one shirt, right? And when he wanted to iron that shirt, he would do it like he's going to his company. So in a way, he was programming himself, even if he did it unconsciously, to become that, and he became that. So the idea here is that you have the ability to change your self-image. It's malleable and it's possible to change. And that's not just true through the research of Maxwell Maltz. Even in neuroscience, they told us that the brain, through brain plasticity, is malleable to change. So you literally can change the neural path in your brain, which is a reflection of your self-image in a way, or the thoughts you have about yourself, and you can live a completely different reality. And believe me in that, because I did it many times. Every time actually I want to change result, I start by changing the self-image. And I can see the difference in that. So, with all that has been said, probably you're thinking now, okay, that was nice, Ihab, I got the idea. Tell me something practical I can start doing now to start changing my self-image, or a certain quality in my self-image. And I have 3 tips in my mind I can share with you to help you start playing at least with that concept, right? Let's assume you want to change certain quality. Let me think of something. Maybe speaking, because that's something I'm familiar with, and I help a lot of people to just change their image as a speaker. Actually, that's the first thing I work with people when they want to become a speaker, to overcome their disempowering image and create just a powerful image about a speaker, about like being a powerful speaker. So, maybe you want to be a speaker, but you don't have a powerful image for that. Now, what you will start by identifying what kind of belief you have about yourself in regards of speaking. How you do that, you just basically close your eyes and tap into your body. Just bring your attention to your body, because that's where you store your subconscious mind. Your emotional body is stored in your emotional body is stored in your physical body. So, just bring your attention to your body and ask yourself, what do I think about myself in terms of speaking? Or a better idea, you can even say, I'm a great speaker. So, if you said that and you felt part of your body pumping, like a pumping in your stomach, or just tightness in your chest, that's an indication that there is a belief in you that's contradicting to what you just said, which is you might be like, I'm not a good speaker, or whatever it is. So go just bring your attention back to that part in your body. And I want you to feel it. Feel it as a raw sensation. It could be like contraction, it could be heat. Just feel that feeling in your body, how it feels like. Be with it without any stories, right? And then ask yourself, what is the belief that's causing that sensation? Again, it could be something like, I'm not a good speaker, or I can't be a good speaker. Now I want you to ask yourself, when was the first time I had that belief about myself? And probably you had the sensation, you have the memory, whatever that would come to your mind, it's fine. But what you will discover, in most cases, that the beliefs we had about ourselves, we build it before the age of 7. Before the age of 7. Actually, 95% of our image, we start building it before the age of 7 because of a certain interpretation, or someone just told us something about ourselves and we believed it, and we just become part of our self-image. So look back to that event. It could be like you tried to speak in front of people, and they just laughed at you, and you had like a painful emotion, and then you have the belief yourself, I'm not a good speaker. Be with that belief, thank it, just surround it with gratitude and love, because gratitude and love, it helps to heal an energy, especially if it has a painful emotion. The next point you can do, and that's where the real work, that's where the change of self-image starts to happen. I want you to start programming your mind for a new image. How you can do that? Start practicing the next 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it takes to start feeling that shift. Start practicing the new image you want. So it could be the new image, you want to feel like a great speaker. See, choose words that are tempting to you. Don't just choose any word. If powerful speaker is the word, then that's it. If inspiring speaker, then that's it. So let's say you want to be a powerful speaker. Start saying, what would it take to feel like a powerful speaker? And I want you to feel it in your body. Just get your body engaged, again, because your emotions are stored in your body. So every day you would say, what would it take to feel like a powerful speaker? What would it take to feel like a powerful speaker? Now at the beginning, you might not be able to feel it, but I promise you, 1 week, 10 days after that, your self-image will start to shift, and you start experiencing yourself more and more as a powerful speaker. Now, I'm not saying if you just created a self-image, then that's it, you don't need to practice, which is the last point, which is practice, practice, practice. But if you're practicing something and you have a destructive, disempowering image for it, like if you're practicing to be a powerful speaker and you have an image that you're not a powerful speaker, no matter how you practice, you would always practice from the wrong attitude and you will be just repeating the same practice. But if you're practicing from a place that you're a powerful speaker and you had that image and you're practicing at the same time, that's where you start growing into that new image. Now, what I said, like the sentence, what would it take to be a powerful speaker, which I said, that's just one way of programming your image. You can do it through visualization or whatever feels right to you. But the reason I said, like, what would it take, because it makes it more playful. Because if you said, I'm a powerful speaker, probably you're gonna create just more and more resistance. So saying just like, what would it take to feel like a powerful speaker, it helps you just to be more playful. And that would help just to ease the transition of the image. And if you do it in one quality, I can promise you, you can do it again and again and again and again, and it will become like a game. Actually, you're gonna enjoy it because you know you can be anything you want, literally. Now, there is one thing I want to add. Self-image is not about building an ego. It's not about saying I'm the best one in the world. It's not that. Actually, self-image is about building an image that's close to your authentic self, that's close to your soul, that's close to you, who you really are at the core. So you have an image that's supporting you to go there instead of resisting you. So it's not just about create any self-image. No, create something that's close to your authentic self. And if you want the truth, your authentic self is it's bigger than any image. It's just infinite. So building an image that's powerful, it will just help that untapped potential in you to start expressing itself through your character. Now, probably by now, you just understood the concept of self-image and you get the idea how can I change it, and you're ready and you're motivated to start changing the qualities of your self-image. But you might still be thinking, but yeah, what if I'm really not a good speaker? What if I'm really not a good writer? What if I'm really not powerful? What if I'm really not confident? What if I'm really not intelligent? Like, what if that's me? And let me tell you, and I'm telling you that after years and years of studying human potential, meditating, and just going deeper in that concept. All the stuff that you think, this is not me, this is not me, this is not me, or I know myself, I'm not confident, I'm not rich, or like all that stuff, this is basically lies. Like literally lies. At a certain age, you've been told by someone, and the person who told you that, probably he was disempowered, otherwise he won't project that belief on you. And you just believe it. Like, we're born as a baby and we're just clear-minded. And people start to pouring ideas about ourselves into our psyche. So by the age of 7, you had like a bunch of lies about yourself and you live your life accordingly. So I would encourage you not to allow lie about yourself to really limit your life, and start questioning those lies and building something that just help you to have a better life, to be more empowered and to empower people around you. So I'm signing off here. That was my advice today. That was my thoughts about self-image, and still, as I said, it's a deep concept, so I would encourage you even go and study it more. I would love also if you can leave in the comment below just what do you think about the idea of self-image, and if you're familiar with that concept, how did you change it and what happened into your life. Till I meet you next time, just have a great day and stay empowered. Thank you. Hey guys, it's Ihab. If you like this video and you enjoy this kind of material, there are two things you can do right now. First, to subscribe to the YouTube channel here, and also to visit ihabhammarmy.com to sign up for the newsletter there. So you can keep yourself updated with the free material about the soul of speaking, leadership, high performance, and just life mastery in general. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Till then, just go and have a great day. Thank you.